is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about who should win the Sixth Man of the Year. This is a topic that a lot of people have been debating because it was a close race. And there's a lot of players that's been interested in really playing well and really could win this award. But as you know, Dennis Schroder has been the favorite for the last couple of weeks. He has been outstanding. I picked Dennis Schroder to win Sixth Man of the Year last year, and it didn't happen. He came up short to Lou Williams, and now it seems like he has had a better season than Lou Williams. Lou Williams has numbers going to continue to fall even if the season continues, just because adding Reggie Jackson and Paul George coming back healthy and Kawhi Leonard starting to play his game, and you have so many people to feed like Zubac and Montrez that his numbers came back to earth. Lou Williams never has been the most efficient scorer from the field or from the three-point line, and he never been the greatest playmaker, but he knows what he is. He knows what he brings to the table. He doesn't stray that far from it, and he gives the Clippers exactly what they need off the bench. But what I will say is Dennis Schroder has been spectacular. He has been more efficient from the field, more efficient from three, scoring more points, and he's allowed to come off the bench and play his game, just like Lou Williams. The only difference is they utilize Schroder just a lot more than they do Lou Williams. Lou Williams' role has continued to decline because this team, the Los Angeles Clippers, continue to get deeper. And the deeper you are, the more chances that somebody else can score and some more chances that the ball isn't in your hand. Because you look at it last year, Lou Williams was a lot of their offense, and the numbers supported that. And now this year, when he gets a team that's deeper and got guys that took his spot and took his attempts, and he has to work with them, and sometimes he might get a high-scoring game, but most of the time the Clippers don't really need him to do that anymore because he's not the creator that they need, and he's not the player that he needs to be like he was last year. He's in a different role. They're asking him to do less in this situation right now with the Clippers, and the numbers reflect that. But that's not a bad thing. It just means that you're not needed to do a lot. It's good because now you don't have to worry about suspending so much energy and really trying to force up shots and really try to create something because you got other guys that can do it. The only problem is that's probably the biggest reasons why he won't win Sixth Man of the Year this year, just because they don't need him to be the old Lou Williams that they needed last year. They need him to be just a guy that can create and score whenever they need it to, or sometimes be a creator in the fourth quarter where they can allow Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to play off the ball and allow Lou Williams to score his baskets. But if it doesn't work, they don't have to rely so much on Lou Williams like they did last year, which means the job and his load is a lot easier, and he doesn't have to really try to go out there and try too hard to do too much, just because Kawhi Leonard and guys like Paul George can do it on a better level. And on top of that, they're taller, more lankier, and that makes their job a lot easier. But it still is good to have a Lou Williams, especially because it makes a difference in the playoffs, and it also helps having another guy that can create, and they're not paying Lou Williams that much money. I think Lou Williams is playing great for his contract. I don't think nobody would ever thought that he was overpaid. You never hear anybody saying that Lou Williams is an overpaid player because he's paid properly. And he could make a little bit more money, but he was a guy that would rather have the security in the role that he has. And now he has a chance to win a title with the Clippers this year or next year. It don't make a difference. But that's something that he hasn't been in a position to do for a long time, which is actually compete for a title. And his numbers might fall down. He might not win Sixth Man of the Year, but he has a huge chance of winning the championship. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day, because you want that chance, you want that opportunity, you want those moments. And Lou Williams still going to get that no matter what happens with this award. He's going to have a better chance than Schroder. But Schroder is going to do something that he has never done before, which is Sixth Man of the Year. He came off the bench in Atlanta. He became a starter. He never could really stay there that long, and the team gave up on that very quick of him being the starting point guard, but he ended up getting traded to OKC. It seemed like he had to find his role again. They allowed him to start some games. He was a big piece of their offense last year, and he was a big difference maker for them. But this year, he has elevated his play because the team that he's on now is so unselfish. They don't mind Dennis Schroder taking a lot of shots. They don't mind Dennis Schroder being that effort and energy guy off the bench. They just allow Dennis Schroder just to go out there and knock down some threes, create a little bit, and knock down some mid range and some floaters. And that's what he has always done. It's just that they're using him to do more because Chris Paul isn't a selfish player. He will allow other guys to score. He'll allow other guys to get their numbers. And same thing with Danilo. Danilo is a guy that can play on the ball a little bit, but he also don't mind becoming an off-ball guy. And then you got Shai Gilgeous. Shai Gilgeous isn't a greedy player either. He's a guy that can really handle the ball and create his own, but he also can allow other teammates to shine. And that's the reason why Dennis Schroder has been so amazing this year, just because they allow him to be such a difference maker by putting the ball in his hands and his ability to take these threes. But he has improved as a three-point shooter, and he has been able to knock down more of his attempts. And efficiency do matter. You can attempt more shots, but if you be more efficient in those shots, your numbers will continue to go up. And efficiency is a good way to be respected around the league because you're not known as a chucker, a guy that's just running around throwing up a bunch of shots just to get numbers. And Schroeder, you can say he used to do that back in the day just because he didn't have the skills, the mentality, and the game that he has now. He's more mature. He knows what he's trying to do. He knows what his game is, and he understands that. And he comes in each and every game with that mentality, and they're allowing him to be that to a higher extent than they did last year. And like I said, this team is just way more unselfish. You don't have guys like Paul George and Russell and Carmelo that need the ball, that want the ball. You don't need guys like that all the time, but they still do have guys that can create and do their own thing, but they allow Shooter to do more just because they play well off each other. And for them to be able to put multiple small ball lineups out there, it just because Shooter is just that effective, being able to create with the handle and also find teammates. And the fact that this is a guy that comes at you. He's always trying to figure out, is you going to let me shoot? Is you going to let me drive? Is you going to let me pass? He understands that. And that gives him a big advantage because it forces the defender to give up something. And since Schroeder finally getting that three ball to drop, it's hard to pick something just because he's been able to master a lot of the rest of the game, allowing him to score when he needs to and put the ball in a hole different in multiple ways, making him a tough cover. But other than that, you do got guys like Montrezl Harrell that should be in the discussion. You have a lot of guys that really have accepted their role. You got Dinwiddie, who became a starter a lot this year, and he ended up becoming a big help for the Nets when Kyrie was gone. That was a big adjustment for them, and he was able to deliver. You got other guys that really figured out their role, and Gordon Dragic and guys like Terry Rozier is putting up decent numbers. I like Malik Beasley was coming off the bench, and now he's been a big player as a starter. I think that he could have been a big contributor. Also, this award was a little easier this year because it wasn't guys that's really having enormous seasons outside of Dennis Schroder and Lou Williams. So it really has been a two-man race for the last couple months. And it seems like Schroeder has the edge a little bit on Lou Williams, but it's only one person that can win this award. And it's not going to be an upset if either one of them win it, but it would be fun to see Schroeder finally master that role and accept that role and have the season that he's having right now. And that may allow him to finally get that Sixth Man of the Year that he possibly could have been got. But with him maturing, him understanding the game, and him knowing his improvements because he had a lot of weaknesses, and now they allow him to be himself a lot more, and they trust him a lot more because the game has evolved and expanded. You can't really do anything but give him credit when it's due, and the credit that he deserves is becoming a six man of the year for the first time, and that's a tough award to win just because there's a lot of guys that get the opportunity to put up numbers and put up them up, even if it's empty or they just get a lot more minutes and opportunities. So they really a starter, but they come off the bench, but they call them a starter anyway because the minutes they play and they play in the fourth quarter. And Schroeder is one of those guys, and he benefits for it, and so is Lou Williams. So I'll have to go with Dennis Schroder here, and I think we all would agree on that. But it is interesting to see Lou Williams have somebody that can put up similar numbers than him recently. And Schroeder has been the guy that has really found a way to get it done and might get this award at the end of the season. If it does become canceled, then Schroeder has has it. But if the season continue and he fall off a little bit, or Lou Williams continue to drop his numbers, then he still might have a chance to win it regardless. But other than that, let me know what you guys feel. Do you think Dennis Schroeder is the sixth man of the year? Should it go to Lou Williams? Is it somebody else that should win it? Who you think has had the better season? Who you think can really win this award for real? Or do you think that, if Schroeder is locked up to him, this is his award? So whatever you feel, let me know in the comment section below. I'll read every comment at the end of the day. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis signing out. But I will say, like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that liked the video already. And if you haven't liked the video, can you please like it, subscribe? If you like videos just like this, I make videos all year, every single day. I do trades, I do trade deadline, preseason, summer league, um, free agency, anything that's basketball I try to do, and I even break down games. Also, you can check out my website, analysisplayground.com, link in the description, comment section below. Also, it's free, by the way. And then another thing is, check out my Spreadshirt. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you can buy merchandise through me through Facebook. You can message me what type of T-shirt you want and what type of logo. You can change the color of the T-shirt. You can change the color of the logo, and I can get it shipped out to you. All you gotta do is message me on Facebook. Now, at the end of the day, I also want to say you can pick up any type of merchandise that you want on my Spreadshirt. There you can find a lot of different merchandise that you can get, and all you got to do is pick the one that you want, and I gave you guys a lot of variety of merchandise that you guys can get, and click it, get it, and it'll be shipped out to you. So other than that, Dennis Schroder right now is the sixth man of the year, and if the season doesn't start, he's definitely should win it. But other than that, it is kind of fun that Lou Williams got some competition for that spot this year. I know he loves it, and I know he's going to be back next year to try to win it again. And at the end of the day, he pushed himself, and so did Schroeder, to have great seasons coming off the bench. They have different roles this year. They have different ways to play this year. And at the end of the day, only one man can win the award right now. And Schroeder has him barely edged out. So it's something different this year, which is a good thing and also not a bad thing. Because Lou Williams was still in a conversation to win the award. But other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm signing out.